Hey, what's going on, guys?
Now it's over there.
Now it's over here. Hold on. As per tradition for Books and Brew, I gotta just. You've already had your drink open. Now I gotta struggle to get mine.
Yeah. It's not that hard.
There we go.
They weren't the. You didn't need a bottle opener this time.
Isn't this new flavor? We're drinking.
It's a different brand, but
It's still kombucha.
same kind of flavor. They're both hibiscus.
Oh, hibiscus. Sorry. Everyone, go ahead and grab your brew. And grab your books. So yeah, welcome to Books and Brew. If you don't know, this is your first time here. Simply said, this is where we just talk about different D&D aspects, characters, subclasses, items, monsters, everything underneath the books, and then we drink something. Generally, it's alcoholic.
Sometimes it's caffeine.
Sometimes it's caffeine. I have a little bit of a theme here for today's session, and that is discussing. So I've DM'd a lot of games, and I've included you in a lot of games, and you played a lot of characters, a lot. We're not going to talk about Vera.
Yeah.
Because Vera is ongoing right now. Vera's story is still going.
Vera's in PTSD mode constantly.
Though we're going to talk about maybe some of your past characters you played in our first campaign that was never seen, and maybe some one shots.
For a minute, I thought you were talking about Nick's thing. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, I don't think we included Kara. No, we've included streamed characters.
Yeah.
Except for Iris.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mainly streamed characters. Before I begin, though, well, actually, no, I'll save this for a little later. But let me go ahead and get to my characters here.
You going first, or are they all mine?
They're all yours.
Oh shit.
They're all yours. I have one character that's technically mine that I'm going to talk about later. But we can save that. We'll save that. So first, let's go with.
Oh, Lilith.
Lilith. I didn't even have to say the name. You knew it. It's your character.
I like Lilith.
So why don't you describe a little bit what Lilith is?
Oh, she's a paladin, even though she probably doesn't look like a stereotypical paladin.
She does not.
I mean, you always say I have to say the full name, like Harlequin, and I don't say Harlequin, I say Harley Quinn. But she's designed words after that.
Oh, before we begin, I'm sorry. A few things I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out for those who may be watching. Kenzie Gaming, thank you so much for subscribing for 2 months. Also for the 100 biddies. All of these occurred either when we were offline or during the one shot we had with Astral.
Oh, okay.
And because we were having a bunch of technical issues, I was unable to look at the announcements, so I'm going to do that now. The Small Bean, thank you for following. Titan Fish, thank you for following. Titan, hey, Titan from... we've got announcements for that as well, so I'm really excited. Sai, subscribed for 2 months. Love it. Dallas, thank you for following. Call Me Bosso. The Wobbly Lobster. These names, man. The Learning Machine Music, and the Nerdy Housewife. Thank you so much for following, guys. I'm sorry, Amber. I know we're gonna go ahead and get back into Lilith.
Get all your announcements out. So I don't.
I have another announcement, but I'll save it for later.
Okay. I don't know. What do you want to know about her? You already know about her.
Well, she's obviously a tiefling.
Yeah.
You know, a lavender skin tiefling. You picked this picture because you like the.
I like the art. I mean, the necklace I wasn't too like a big fan of, but I mean the way I built her kind of made sense. But I don't know. I just like the way she looks.
So right now I am trying to pull up the type of paladin she is.
Oath of Redemption.
Ooh, you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
That helps out so much.
I mean, well, you made me make her an orphan. That was like a prerequisite. That wasn't my choosing. That was like a... You have to be an orphan, okay.
So there's a few things about being a paladin that we haven't discussed yet.
I miss that you get 2 hits once you hit 5th level.
Yes. Yes.
It's like something I kind of wish. I don't know. I didn't want to make Vera a paladin. It didn't fit in my head. So it's like, one of these days I'll be a paladin again.
Well, like most, whenever we do talk about a subclass, we will talk about only the subclass features. I'm sort of saving the classes as a whole for a later episode, because we've talked about a bunch of other subclasses, which has been fun.
Yeah.
But when you do the Oath of Redemption, usually what that means is that you have taken such a strong stance to either help people redeem themselves. You know, maybe you're like a warden who actually is a good person and wants to help those in jail turn a new leaf, and that is your Oath of Redemption. Or maybe you feel a little about yourself. You've been kind of a bad person, kind of long and forgotten, or maybe you've just sort of done some bad things in the past. Something happened, and now you wish that you want to turn a new leaf. So it could be very versatile in the way that you play a Oath of Redemption paladin.
I mean, hers is about her. I mean, because you made us be orphans, and then I was like, well, I've always wanted to design a character after Harley Quinn. I'm still gonna say it like that. So I mean, like, Oath of Redemption was just because she didn't think she had any value. Like, she got left at the orphanage because nobody wanted her. Like, she assumed. She don't really know, but like, we never played out that backstory. So it was just like, you know, somebody left me here. Nobody ever, like, my parents didn't want me, you know. So I guess I'm redeeming myself to give myself some kind of self-worth.
Yeah. So Lilith was from the Little Lamb one-shot,
Yeah.
which you kept on mentioning being an orphan. The way the story went is that all of our players at the time were all kids. They were all orphans who, lived in an orphanage and had to be transferred to another one that where a bunch of scary hijinks ensued. However, all of the players here, though they had their character stats, they had like kid moments and kid health. Whenever they went out to adventure and explore and play and pretend, they became their adult self, which is what we're looking at. We're looking at the adult Lilith, what she aspired to become or what she saw herself as.
I don't know, I really like that image. There was a couple like purple tieflings I was playing around with, and I was like, nope, that's it.
So, when you do take up the Oath of Redemption, you do get a few spells specific to your class. You get at 3rd level Sanctuary and Sleep.
I used Sanctuary, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever using Sleep.
It almost feels like that's a very protective set of spells. One, that you're protecting someone or yourself, and two, you're almost non-violently taking someone down with sleep.
Good night.
You're like, let's stop fighting. Good night. You're going to bed. At 5th level, you get Calm Emotions and Hold Person. Once again, 2 other spells that can probably diffuse a problem without getting super violent.
I don't know. I feel like Hold Person, I've very rarely used it as a de-escalation. It's very much, I'm gonna hold you there until we either knock you out or we kill you.
Well, that's the thing. You're not doing like, I'm gonna cast Firestorm. It's, I'm gonna hold you. You're gonna hold still.
Yeah.
So it could be seen as maybe a non-violent way to end an encounter. At 9th level, you get Counterspell and Hypnotic Pattern. Once again, Counterspell maybe stopping any other,
The fuck
escalation going on.
The fuck you know spell?
Yeah, the fuck you know spell and Hypnotic Pattern if you wanted a bunch of people just to stare into the abyss, not moving and drooling. At 13th level, you get Resilient Sphere, which obviously just puts you into like an immobile bubble, keeping you safe. And Stone Skin, basically more of protection. This is really leaning into like, you're not here to kick your ass, you're here to just...
I'm not here to kick my own ass.
You're not here to kick ass, you're here to stop it all. At 17th level, you get Hold Monster, which actually now works against monsters and beasts and other things except humanoids. And Wall of Force, which is pretty good because you could stop like projectiles and like bows and arrows and crossbow bolts. And maybe even do a little bit of force damage. And that's all I believe at level 1. I can double check.
No, you were saying you were doing the tiers.
At level 3. That was a level 3. So you get yeah, everything starts when you become Oath of Paladin at level 3. You also get a Channel Divinity at level 3. You get Embassy of Peace. Basically, you can use your Channel Divinity in 2 different ways. You can either use your Channel Divinity to do, as a bonus action, you can grant yourself a +5 Charisma persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes. So maybe you want to persuade someone to go down.
Yeah, I think she was more charismatic.
Like maybe stop. And you can use your bonus action to actually put some emphasis in there, put some boom in your voice. And the other ability, or at least the other option you can use your Channel Divinity, is Rebuke the Violent. You can immediately after the attacker within 30 feet, who deals damage to with an attack against a creature other than you, you can use a reaction to force the attacker to make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it must take the attacker takes radiant damage. What's going on, Sai? Hopefully that you've gotten your drink ready. We do, and we're oh man, this has been the longest week.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like it's maybe because of the one shot we were a little kind of wiped out.
Don't mind me. I'm trying to fix whatever the hell my hair is doing.
We're talking right now about the Oath of Redemption
Paladin,
which is actually a character or subclass that you played in one of our one-shots. It has been a long week, incredibly long, yeah.
I really liked her though. I mean, like, in that one shot though, you could tell the difference, not to name drop Trish, but like you could tell the major difference between how we were playing that class.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we took different oaths. I don't remember what her oath, I think hers was Oath of Protection.
I can look it up.
But,
I think hers was Oath of Devotion.
Okay. But I was like, yeah, we're gonna go 2 different routes with this.
So we've gone over the spell class list, spell list, and it's very much a lot of non-violent spells, a lot of basically hold everyone, calm down type of abilities.
You get smite though.
You do. Well, that's with every
No, I know
Paladin.
with Paladin, but I'm just like saying that like does an insane amount of damage if you use it right.
And if you get a crit and you choose to put in your beefiest what's it called, spell slot in there to do some extra damage, your smite, it's basically a heavy hit, and it's pretty good. At 7th level, you get Aura of the Guardian. Starting at 7th level, you can shield your allies from harm at the cost of your own health. When a creature within 10 feet of you takes damage, you can use a reaction to magically take the damage instead. This feature does not transfer any other effects that may accompany with the damage. So it's within 10 feet of you. Essentially, it's a lot like your Cleric ability currently going on with Magic and Mostad, where you can do, what's the ability called?
Bowling bomb?
No, the other one. Where you transfer the damage.
Shared burden.
Shared burden. It's a lot like shared burden. It kind of is. Except again, you instead of being within 30 feet, I mean within 10 feet, you have to be 30 feet, and you have a little more range. At the 18th level, however, this Aura of Guardian does increase to 30 feet.
Takes a while.
It takes a good chunk.
I only played her at level 5, so some of the stuff I don't know about, but...
Yeah. At 15th level, you get Protective Spirit. Starting at 15th level, a Holy Presence mends your wounds in combat. You may regain hit points equal to 1d6 plus half your Paladin level. If you end your turn in combat with fewer than half your hit points remaining, if you end your turn in combat without, you aren't incapacitated. Basically, you get to heal yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember. It wasn't Lilith. It was Edith. Although it had lay on hands.
Oh, wait a minute.
You get lay on hands?
You do.
Okay, I remember.
I just realized. Okay, so I may have read that weirdly for Protective Spirit. However, I can summarize it. Essentially, what happens is you get to roll a d6 plus half your Paladin level, and you get to heal that amount at, I believe, the start of your turn. Let's see here.
Kiki. Sorry, our cat thinks she's a little baby coyote. Hey.
At the end of your turn, sorry. At the end of your turn, and the idea is that so long as you still have, if you're under your hit points, you regain health. And if you're still
under your hit points.
And if you're still under half your hit points,
okay.
You still regain health. And the idea is that the moment you drop below half your hit points, you start regaining health every turn. That's actually pretty useful, and it doesn't seem like there's a limit, There is no you have to wait a long or short rest. It just happens. So as long as your character reaches 15th level and hits below your hit points, you're gonna start regaining health. Not a lot, but it's enough.
So you won't die.
Yeah. And lastly, at 20th level, I believe paladins are the only classes that get a 20th level subclass ability.
Hey Theo.
What's going on, Theo? 20th level, you become an avatar of peace, which gives you the following benefits. You have resistance to all damage dealt by other creatures, their attacks, their spells, and other effects. That's pretty good. Whenever a creature deals damage on you, it takes radiant damage equal to the half amount that I dealt on you. So essentially, you're getting half damage, and you're transferring half of that damage back to them.
I always felt like paladins were OP, but
I like this idea. I really like this idea. So yeah, because essentially what the Oath of Redemption is that you're trying to stop the violence. You are trying to redeem yourself. You're like, I'm a good person. I don't want to hurt you. And this is almost discouraging people from attacking you because it's like, if you hit me, you're hurting yourself. And even if you bring me down to half my health, I'm going to start getting better, and you're not. So please stop hitting me.
I didn't play her like that though. Oop. But I don't know.
So that was Lilith. By the way, guys, I wanted to hold this before we got into some other announcements. I made few announcements, obviously thanking those who followed us and subscribed. But we have a new shirt. We have a new shirt, gracefully made by from your cousin. I'm not sure should I say the name. It'll be fine. Kristen, thank you so much for making this for us. So you guys know who Gina Lee is, and if you don't, she is one of our Air Genasi NPCs who runs a magical.
Our Valley Girl NPC.
She's very Valley Girl, very California. Oh my God, and we have her art. You can see here the Air Genasi.
Oh my God.
You can see her with the way I described her. I love it. She has the chatterbox in hand. Obviously, it's the magical item that she gave to the party, or she sold at a very cheap price. So she's holding onto the chatterbox. The way I described her dress is exact. I love it. The fact that she has little clouds that in, of course, the actual
cursed item.
Of course, in the actual game, they move, so they're magical. So they move around her dress. They have little happy faces. She has her white hair, her white eyes, her blue skin.
She doesn't touch the floor.
She doesn't touch the floor as per usual. She can levitate things. I absolutely love her. She is such adorable. She's so adorable, and she's on a shirt right now. I plan on getting it. I think you plan on getting it. I can't wait to wear my Gina Lee shirt everywhere.
I think Temple's one of the play Savannah. I think she really wants one, but I don't know if she's seen the shirt yet.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the few shirts that we have. I think due to the amount of color selections, it's a little more expensive than our other shirts, which are usually around, I think, like $18, $15, something around there.
I think these are 20, right? Or 22?
The Gina Lee shirt is $20.
Okay.
Yeah. And it comes in a little bit of a darker blue, kind of like maybe a little lighter than this. A very, very light blue.
This color, no? This is like an aqua gray.
It comes in a pinkish color, a kind of a white grayish color, and a black. For those who like black. I can't decide whether or not I'm gonna get a light blue
or black.
No, I'm not gonna get a black.
I want black because it makes her pop like her little caricature.
I think I may end up getting the little darker blue.
Okay. Yeah, that one looked nice too.
I think so. I think it would look nice. She's so adorable. It's one of the few times where I made an NPC and I'm like, oh, I love her.
I'll get black so it matches my soul. That's what I say, man. Like, This is the most color I think I have. There's very few things that are colorful in my wardrobe. My colors consist of whatever the hell color this is. Black, gray, maroon. What other color do I wear a lot? I think I already said gray.
That's about it.
That's about it, man.
So let's talk about a new character here.
Colors distract.
Maybe not a new character for you,
Oh,
but
Lilith?
definitely an interesting one.
Oh, Lilith. Okay, so Edith and Lilith.
So no, this
Excuse
is
me.
not Lilith.
No, this is not
Edith.
Lilith. The reason why I named the tiefling Lilith is because I looked it up. I was talking about it with Mike. Like, tieflings normally have like a name to do with like their family
They have a
or
creed name.
or like what they do. And so like for that one shot, it was a Halloween one shot. So I wanted to make a witch essentially, but like a good witch. So I was looking up names, and I always know like the name Lilith because it's like in history, it's like, oh, a famous witch, but like there's good things and bad things depending on what lore you read. But like the one I was basing her off, that's why.
Well, for Edith.
Edith is an ASMR Grave Cleric.
Yes. So for those who
of the Raven Queen.
for those who don't know what an ASMR is, much like
I don't say ASMR because it feels like you're just calling them an ass, and I'm just like,
to
no.
Thea's point, yes, it does sound like ASMR. I get it. However, this was way before the term actually came out.
Yeah.
So ASMR is essentially those who have been touched by the divine in some certain way. Whether that means they were blessed as a child, whether they were granted some sort of divine blood later in their years, or they were blessed by maybe an angel or some sort of celestial.
You got angel blood.
Either you got angel blood due to birth or due to some rite, or you were given some sort of blessing that is now infused within your very soul. So when you think about tieflings, how they are descendants of devils, think of these guys as essentially as descendants from angels. Exactly, the opposite. So if you want to play like kind of like a
And these one shots were really far apart, so I didn't think of the opposite until right now.
yeah, you did play the opposites. So you were a protector.
Yeah.
There are different types of ASMRs. You were a protector ASMR, and you chose the Grave Cleric of the Raven Queen.
She's also an orphan. Also, like, again, Lilith's the other character, I'm gonna say Tiefling, because I'm gonna mix the two up, was prerequisite for Mike's one shot is that we all had to be orphans. So, like, that wasn't of my choosing, so that's just how she was.
It was a little unfortunate when it comes to the story-wise, but hey.
It had a purpose, but I'm
Makes
just
a great
saying,
story.
like, this is like a year before that, probably.
This was I think one of the first one-shot characters you've ever made.
Yeah. No, I was trying to figure out like how because I don't feel like a lot of people do anything with the Raven Queen. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but like the stuff I've seen is like, people don't particularly like her, but she's not evil. She's very much the balance in death, unfortunately, but like, because she's associated with that.
Maybe because no one wants to worship death.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna die. It's not a very happy thing to worship.
But she's not evil. Like, she's
definitely not
very
evil.
much like a balance.
She is essentially someone going to work and going, okay, here we go. And just kind of like going through the motion of the day. Death is a thing. You don't upset it. You don't break the rules. You just live and you die. And that's the Raven Queen. And that's why that's when you mention, like, not a lot of people mention, like, the Raven Queen. It's because it's not a very happy thing to do. You could worship the god of wine if you wanted to. No, I'm going to worship the woman who, when I die, takes me to the underworld or to whatever outer plane I'm going to be going to.
No, I made her that she had human parents, or like that she knows of. Her parents were human. But she looks different, obviously. She has the wings, and then ASMRs tend to have like a shimmer to their eyes. They don't exactly have the same kind of iris and stuff that a human would.
Either they have like a golden eye, or they have a halo, or...
Yeah. I didn't make her with a halo, obviously. So when they had Edith, they didn't really want her. And I made it where she was from a village where, like, you don't look like that and you don't look like everybody else. So you kind of get ostracized and your family's ostracized because they don't know what the hell you are, essentially. So, oh, shoot. Thank you, son.
Oh my god! Here I'm looking down at my phone.
I've just seen a ton of alerts. Thank you, Sai.
Oh my god, Sai, you gotta cut it out now, man.
Much appreciated.
All right, you've introduced a bunch of new people right now. We got Vintage, Rella, Dennis. Yeah,
Tom.
that is 10 big gifts from Sai.
I am Bloodshed, an interesting name, for dragons, and the Wobbly Lobster.
And a lot more.
Thank you. Much
Sai, that is a big.
Okay, there we go.
That is a big gift.
No, it's fine. These are good distractions.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Grave Cleric.
Wait, I'm going to tell.
My
Mr.
apologies.
Backstory.
I forgot your backstory.
Yeah, I had to write it all out for you. Damn it. No, so she got told one day, like when she was very young, like maybe 4 or 5. So like, you don't really have unless you're a very advanced 4 or 5-year-old, you don't have like, you're not aware of your surroundings too much. Like you kind of just go through whatever your parents tell you to go through. So she got told, like her parents report, she got told to stay in the house, and that they would be back eventually, and not to come out. Like you stay there, we'll be back for you.
Oh, I remember this part.
And don't move, don't go outside, don't go looking for help, and just stay there.
Stay put.
Stay put. So she was like, okay, like I'll stay in my room, I won't move. So like a week goes by, and then she's like, starting to get hungry. She eats whatever she can find in the house and like doesn't go out. Second week goes by and I told my girls, like, it starts raining, and like obviously they don't have a fancy house, so like she's getting cold, she's getting rained on.
Insulated.
And she's like, I know I got told to wait here, but like I need to do something because I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm wet, and no one's coming to, get me. So I told him that like, she's gonna go outside and she's gonna see like a raven sitting there, like potentially screaming at her.
Yeah, like basically like this raven is attached to you in some sort of way.
So she follows it, and she follows it to the Church of the Raven Queen, and they take her in. But she doesn't see the Raven Queen as much as like this entity, this, thing that nobody wants to talk about. She sees it very much as like her mother, because she doesn't really remember her parents. Her parents didn't really treat her well from what she recalls. So she's made an oath to her in the sense that, you gave me this power. I'll be your quote unquote champion, or your, your servant or your avatar going forward if you teach me. So that's like her, not her pact, but her relationship.
It's a very interesting dynamic because it's almost like the extreme version of a cleric. Because right now you are playing a cleric in Magic at Mosstead. However, it's not like she is constantly talking about the Dawnfather.
No, she's not. Like, I mean, the way we played it out for the one shot is that Edith is very quiet. She's very reserved. But in the sense, since she's been raised in the church, she's not very good with social interactions.
Yeah,
like, she's not mean or rude in any way.
She's awkward.
She's just awkward because she's never, like, outside of the church, other than being told what to do, this is how we do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, other than little social interactions, she's never been to, like, a bar until she's older. Like, 'cause we did go into a bar when she was older.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know how to, like, talk to people. So she'll just, like, sit there with her hood up and just, like, try not to call attention to herself.
So it's a very sad, you make a lot of sad story characters.
I know. I
think
the only one I ever made that was, like, super happy was Iris.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. So you did pick a grave cleric, and the way that a grave cleric worships, or at least their mentality when it comes to deities and sort of the world around them, is they're not a life cleric. They don't believe that all life should be preserved. Yo, Hornet! It's going on AMX. So they don't believe that life should be, like, totally every life should be preserved. They also don't believe that every life should just end like a death cleric. Like death.
It's very much a balance, just like the Raven Queen, kind of.
Yeah, the idea is that you have a life right now, and when you die, that is the end of it. Regardless if it was cut short or if you were given extra time, regardless of how much you live, you will eventually die. There is no immortality. Actually, that's one thing that the Raven Queen absolutely hates, and that is like liches and people who sought after like immortality in like the corrupt way. Or in any way, to be honest. If you're trying to be immortal, the Raven Queen fucking hates you.
Yeah.
And so that's what a Grave Cleric is, that they essentially guide you to death, or they try to stave off a little bit of death, but you're gonna die eventually, but not now. Not now.
I think we made it where like I bring her only like, I don't want to say the bad, but it was kind of like the bad souls, because like you made it where the church wasn't like bad. Like we did good things. Like they basically took the beefcake over there and made her go do like errands that obviously like a nun or a priest wouldn't do. That's not a cleric, like somebody that would just serve it within the church. Like she was the one like, okay, I gotta go kick the door down and beat this guy.
It's almost like saying the Raven Queen has chosen for your life to end now. I'm gonna lead you to the grave.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So a few things that a Grave Cleric gets, especially when it comes to spells. At first level, they get Bane and False Life. Bane, as we all know, if you don't know,
it's like Bless, but opposite.
Is the opposite of Bless. Basically, you can target a few creatures, and whenever they make an attack or saving throw, they have to roll d4 and minus that. So essentially, you're giving an opposite Bless. And False Life allows you to have some temporary hit points if you use it. And of course, you get more temporary hit points depending on how much spell you put into it.
No.
At third level, you get Gentle Repose, essentially meaning that if you touch a dead body, it will not decay. I believe that's what it is. I'll remind it.
I think so.
And in addition to third level to getting Gentle Repose, you get Grave Enfeeblement, meaning that that individual has disadvantage on. Okay, I'll double check it.
I thought I wiped your mind.
No, you're thinking of
Feeble mind. Same word.
A black beam springs from your finger towards a creature in range. On hit, the creature target only deals half damage with weapons that use the strength modifier.
Gentle side.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's going through. I'm gonna go ahead and allow that.
Yeah, we have in case we get some unsavory types in here, we have a filter just in case.
Ooh, okay. As you can tell, today has been a very chill day. I'm still in my pajamas.
I put on pants. Pant-like.
So essentially, you're debuffing people now.
Yeah, I just like the ability that if you're within a certain distance, you can cancel a natural 20.
I'm noticing now.
Fuck you.
I'm noticing now a lot of a pattern here with the spells. A lot of it is either a debuff or a buff, like a harmful one. Like it's either harmful or helpful. You're not getting two harmfuls, two helpfuls. So I'm noticing here. Revivify at 5th level or Vampiric Touch. Again.
Vampiric Touch is honestly, I think, better for. I mean, not that having access to the spell is bad, but I think because like warlocks don't have healing spells.
Unless you're a divine warlock.
Yeah, which is not always the case given our last one shot. Like if you have a Vampiric Touch and you hit well enough, you can get a decent amount of hit points back.
At 7th level, you get Blight, which is a really powerful spell.
I've used that like throughout. I think most of my characters have it.
It's a very favorite spell of yours.
Yeah.
And Death Ward. Death Ward is really good because essentially if you put a Death Ward on someone and they go into battle and they die, they don't die because they get brought down to 1 HP instead of 0. No matter how much fucking blasting they're getting, which is pretty good. And finally at 9th level, you get Anti-Life Shield and Raise Dead. That makes me curious though, Raise Dead.
Why?
Because
you're a Grave Cleric and like
the Raven Queen doesn't like zombies. She doesn't like
I think she wouldn't mind if they were being used to her will. Like, okay, you need help. Bring them out of the ground and then put them back.
I guess you could do it as the Raven Queen's last like trump card. Like, I have
Because I mean,
control of the
she's
grave.
brought people back from the dead, but
That's true.
it's for her use. Like it's
But not
like
as an undead.
no, but she just makes it where like, okay, I'm gonna bring you back, or I'll make this deal with you, but you have to do something for me.
So there's a few subclass abilities that you get. First, at level 1, you get Circle of Mortality. At first level, you gain the ability to manipulate the line between life and death. When you normally roll 1 or more dice to restore hit points, with a spell creature at 0, you just use the max. So if someone is unconscious at 0 hit points, instead of rolling for health, you cast Cure Wounds, they get HP plus whatever modifier you have. They get max health. Not to say they'll go right back to 100%, but essentially the max amount of healing you can do for that one spell, you do it. At first level, in addition to that, you also get Eyes of the Grave. Essentially what this means is that you can see undead within 60 feet. You can use this modifier a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. So,
I think, oh no, it's not undead. It's like, what's the other thing where it's like you can see fiends, undead, or
it's like
face something.
Sense evil or find evil or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Detect evil, I think. Mm-hmm. Evil or, yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while.
It's been a while. So at second level, all clerics get a channel divinity. Obviously, the channel divinity lets you do, I believe it's something along the lines of like reject undead or something like that.
Turn undead.
Turn undead. Thank you. You have a cleric, so you would know this right off the bat. Thank you.
I think I just got that. No, what level is that?
No, you have destroy undead now.
Yeah. Okay.
So your turn undead gets to upgrade as you start to level up.
Let's hope.
Turn undead means go away, zombies. Destroy undead means you're dead now, zombies. So you can use your channel divinity for that, or you can use it for the subclass ability called Path of the Grave. As an action, you could choose one creature you see within 30 feet of you, cursing it until the end of its turn. At the next time you or an ally hits that cursed creature, that creature has vulnerability to all that attack's damage.
I just realized something right now. Like, I know we had played around with the type of, not to bring in Vera again, but like the type of cleric that I wanted to be for this campaign, and we had talked about Grave.
Yeah, we have.
And then I was like, I just realized that I'm glad that I chose what I chose because it meets up with the story, but like, a Grave wouldn't have gone right with what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it would have been right to bring him back.
That would have been a great roleplay moment, because you'd be like, I'm a Grave Cleric, but I really want to raise my husband back from the dead. So that's a very good conflict to do.
Yeah. Oh, she's conflicted now.
I'm
but
sure.
Like, you know, I think she's just hell bent now because she's all so pissed off all the time.
This is one that you really like. That I don't think you unfortunately you weren't this level, so you wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, I think we were level 4 or 5 each time for these one shots. So
exactly. Well,
they weren't super high.
A big tip for those who want to do a one shot: keep your characters around 4 or 5.
Unless you want like level 20 and you just want it all out.
Because once a character becomes level 20, everything becomes a lot slower. Yeah, because then they have so many damn abilities. It's gonna take 20 minutes to get through one turn, and it's just not worth it. And it's a one shot. You only have so much time to do it. Anyways, the best ability I think, and we think we both agree on this, for Grave Cleric is Sentinel at Death's Door, and you get that at 6th level. Essentially, and I'm not going to read the entire thing, you can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and what it does is that every time you see a creature within 30 feet of you about to hit someone with a critical hit, you can cancel the critical. So, oh, you're about to score a natural 20 DM? Nope, not if I'm close enough.
You just get regular damage.
Yep, just regular damage. You're not doubling that dragon claw. That'll definitely kill my bard friend. At 17th level, which is the last subclass ability that you get, is Keeper of the Souls. Can't wait for Caduceus to get this. At 17th level, you get to seize any trace of vitality from a parting soul and use it to heal the living. What does that mean?
You take their essence?
When an enemy you can see dies within 30 feet of you, you or one of your allies of your choice that is within 30 feet regain hit points equal to that enemy's number of hit die.
That's cool. Like, do they have to roll it?
I don't
Or do you
know.
just get, like, the total?
I think you may just get the total. You can use this feature if you aren't incapacitated, and once you've used it, you cannot use... Oh, I think you may roll it. I don't
I
know.
was like, what if you have, like, 88?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Do you just get, like, all 8s automatically?
Because what if you kill something that only has, like, 2 hit die? Do you take the hit die combination, like you roll it? Or do you just do 2? Because that's not very useful. I think you may roll it. You may roll. I have to look that up, but that's what it reads here on the sheet. So who knows? Edith could be a really kind of scary badass.
Well, I mean, she kind of already looks like a scary
That's
badass.
true.
But, yeah, that's what I wanted her to be.
And so last but not least, we're going to talk about the character I think you spent the most time with. Even counting Magic of Mostad, you still spent the most time with this one.
Hey, even Kara?
Co-
Kara I've spent more time with.
Days, yes, but maybe not hours.
Yeah,
we used to
maybe.
spend 12-hour days.
Yeah,
doing
but I
things.
mean, like, Kara's been over years.
Probably that. All right.
Yeah.
Second,
Second longest.
meet Iris.
Yeah, this is from our home campaign that we didn't stream
This is
before
the-
Magic of Mostad.
The Nomad campaign. I've talked about this numerous times by name. It is the first campaign I ever ran, just for privately for friends, just so I can maybe hone my DM skills. And this is the character you chose.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up her stats, though I think I kind of already know it by
Yeah.
heart.
She's a Triton Druid, a Moon Druid.
That's
Circle
right.
the Moon. Yeah.
Okay.
Her whole thing, she didn't really have a tragic backstory, but I guess I was watching, I forget, what is it, the Dungeon Cast?
Yes. Shout out to the Dungeon Cast.
Talk about Tritons, and no offense, I twisted your advice because they were saying that Tritons like normally are very I guess a word is to say stuck up, but not like I guess they're not aware that they come across that way.
Welcome back, Sai.
Oh man, that's not good. Yeah, so this is Iris. She's a Triton, Circle the Moon Druid.
So Tritons are interesting creatures.
No, but I made her, and I told Mike, I was like, I'm gonna make her the opposite, because obviously I like opposites, and he likes opposites.
I do. I love when you play against type. It is my most favorite thing to do.
Of a stereotypical Triton, because it's like, they're, what they do is like they defend basically the water elemental plane, like any creature, they defend that boundary between, the material plane and the water elemental plane. So when they come into the material plane, they're like, why don't you know all the awesome things I've done and how great I am?
Essentially, yeah.
But like, obviously you don't think like, hey, there's some little army over there, defending my home when I don't know about it.
They think very highly of themselves.
Yeah.
Essentially, what they do, they're
That's why I said, I was like, you don't know how great I am. And
they're
what
fighting
I do
back.
for you.
They're fighting back multiple krakens, and then they turn around and they go, "Man, that was a tough fight. Man, we're really awesome. We fought back 3 krakens." And they turn around and they go, "The surface world must really love us because we're protecting the material plane
Yeah.
like bosses." And then they go up to the material plane and,
And
"Hey,
they're
everyone."
like, what the fuck are you? And where did you come from?
Look at it, everyone in the material plane's like, "You did what? No, you didn't. Who the fuck are you?"
So no, I made her more of like a researcher. Like she was out in the field and she would like draw and like document cases of war and attacks. Like she was trained in a sense for battle because like most Tritons are trained somewhat.
Essentially, they're warriors.
Like you're supposed to go through like basic training. So she did that. But like she didn't have a tragic backstory. She had both her parents. She didn't have any siblings.
Researcher.
But her research was like that there was a rift, between planes and she needed to seal it. And that was her sole job, was to find what's causing the rift, fix it, close it, and be done with it. And that was her journey. So she didn't have anything horribly done to her.
Yeah.
I made her like Ariel a little bit, like a little dingy, but not too much. Like she was smart, but she was like overly fascinated by like the simplest things because obviously she's not from the material plane and she's been back and forth a couple times, but she hasn't seen everything, because it's like, how do you see everything in a couple trips?
True.
But like, I guess the good example was we were on a boat and like her room was with the glass maker or whatever.
That's right.
And she was like, oh yeah, you want to see this pink little elephant? And I'm like, are they supposed to be pink, or elephants like tiny? Are they like, that was like a good example of like, she didn't understand.
And it made a lot of sense, because you wouldn't think that this individual who spent most of her life underwater, who went up there, would have ever been to this savannah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what that is. Like, I know of elephants because I've read books, but like, I don't know, like, are they pink? Are they brown? Are they big?
She's
are
like,
they
no,
small?
it's just an artistic, being artistic. So yeah, I loved Iris. She had a very bit of a ditzy moment.
And then when she met a gnome, she was like, oh, you're little. Like, she wasn't used to see, like, she had, again, seen things and seen people, but was not exposed to everything. So
It's a lot like if you go to,
what are you?
It's not like if you've heard of Disneyland and you've never been, and then you go and you're like, oh man, the castle's huge. It's like, yeah, but you saw videos and you're like, but I've never seen it up close. It's a lot like that.
And then she wasn't like, she knew what alcohol was, obviously, they have alcohol everywhere.
You weren't a drinker.
But I wasn't a drinker, so like one of the first times, like Mike made these lists of drinks, and like depending on what you rolled on the D100, each drink did a different thing. And she had a god, she served a god, a very like calm and neutral god, and she only got to talk to her a couple of times, you know, like you're lucky if you get that, whoever you serve. And Mike's like, okay, well, if you roll 100 on D100, you'll get the ethereal something, some kind of drink.
You get to see, or you get to appear in the ethereal plane,
and you can see her. And so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna roll. So I rolled. She rolls
a fucking 100 on a fucking D100.
And then I was like, okay, but I'm already 3 drinks in at this point. So I'm like, she's like, hey, like, cause he was like, oh, your god's like walking around, but she's probably hiding behind something like nature-esque. And I'm like trying to get her attention because we need her help at this point in the game. And I'm like, hey. And then like it fades, it drops. And like Mike's like, well, you have to get another D.
It's a 600.
It need.
Oh my God.
Roby
rating with 749. Goddamn people coming in right now. All right, we're gonna see if we got Ninja, Slog Dog, we got. Oh my God, there's so many people. Kill, Papa Pup.
Wow.
I'm sorry if I'm missing names here. I can't even read that name.
Bronzy, Gids, Outrage.
Gids. Owl Rage, Mr. Blackstone. I like that one. That's a good one.
Raven, Wing
Thank you so much
Dragon.
for the bit.
Jesus. Angry Nice Gamer. Interesting.
What's going on, guys? Hey. How are you guys doing? The Fuji69, thank you so much for subbing.
Thank you for all the subs, the follows, the bits.
Panda, thank you so much for the 2 biddies. Cody Jones, thank you so much for following. Oh my God. Hey, Blondie McGeeky in chat right now. What is going on, Blondie? How are you and Roby doing?
We were explaining a weird character.
I'm hoping that you guys are had a great stream. Hopefully you made some really amazing tech and amazing builds. I love the aura in this living room. We're actually in a studio right now, which is pretty nice.
We have a lot of colors.
We have a lot of colors. It's
Roby,
nice.
also, I love your TikTok. I'm not a big fan of TikTok, but you crack me up.
Yes. Thank you so much for the 25 bits. Andreas, 8. Outrage, thank you for the 10 bits.
Naruto Gaming.
Kirk Hill, thank you so much for the 9 bits. Oh my God,
I'm trying
guys.
to see.
This is so much. This is so much. Right now, guys, we are talking about D&D and some characters, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this part here. Mainly because we're going to talk about a villain.
Hey, I wasn't done with Iris.
Well,
long story short, she had about a couple more drinks and she got to see the god again, but by the time she was done, she was sloshed for her very first time and puked. We're going to jump into Kirk Hill. Thank you so much for another, I think that's another 9 bits. Thank you so much. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. All right, guys. Entertain us, please.
Let's talk about one of my favorite monsters when it comes to D&D. Everyone?
Oh no.
This is an Alhoon per kill. Thank you so much for the 15 bits.
What did we call him?
River Ridge, thank you so much for the 3 bits. If you guys don't know what an Alhoon is, oh boy, I can't wait to describe this.
Haunt your dreams.
Oh,
What
all
was
right.
it? It was Dream what?
It
Dream
is
Eater.
The Dream Eater is what I called him. I call him Serdan, the Dream, yeah, and Illith. Paramus Gaming, thank you so much for the 100 bits. Jesus
you.
Christ, guys, thank you so much. So yes, it is a Mind Flare, essentially. However, a Mind Flare that has pretty much rejected I think that's called like the Mother Brain or something along those lines. It's sort of like
It's a type of mind flare, isn't it?
Yes, it's a type of Mind Flare. It's a Mind Flare that has sort of touched into
Being
the
a
realm
lich?
of being a lich.
I like that.
Instead of being sort of like this silky, gross, wet creature with these different tentacles, they still have the tentacles, but their skin turns like almost dry and cracked. Their body loses a lot of the blue and sort of teal greenish coloration that it would have, or even purplish. Some of them have purple, and they turns into this white discoloration.
Night, Cody Jones.
Hi,
Thank you for
Cody.
the follow.
Thank you so much, guys.
Broke its connection to the
It
hive.
has. Essentially, that is, it's almost like the rest of the hive mind of all of the other Illids or the Mind Flayers have pretty much rejected an Alhoon.
Mind Flare Lich version, pretty much, dude.
Yes.
As players, I'm gonna say this because obviously Mike's the DM. I played in this campaign. This thing fucked with our heads a lot. Let's just say that, like in
Later, Outrage.
so many ways.
So I did make a Outrage with another 10 bits. See you later, Outrage. Thank you so much, man.
Night.
Good night, Ridge. Thank you so much, guys, for dropping by. Honestly, for those who are just coming in real quick, saying their hellos and dropping in, I know you guys had a very
That's the
long
new
stream
one.
with Roby. I still thank you so much for the follows. I cannot thank you enough.
All the love.
All
For
the love.
Valentine's Day.
Oh! And for those who are sticking with us right now, I want to encourage you all to come back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are doing our
Main campaign.
main campaign. We're on session 19. Obviously, I do recaps. For those who are just jumping in, if you want to see a VOD, you can always check out our
Our
YouTube
YouTube.
channel. There is panels.
And we just did our last one shot with Astral Tabletop Games.
That's right.
Last
If you-
Sunday. So the VOD is up. We had some technical difficulties, but Mike nicely edited it. So you can see it one go without all the
Yes.
mess up.
I think I did a pretty damn good job when it came to editing, and you guys can see an uninterrupted one-shot called Dinner, Dryads, and Dice. Are you guys playing virtually? We are. To
Yeah.
keep safe, everyone's safe. We have one of our best friends, Stephen Temple, who plays with us, and we invite guests from time to time to come in. Sweet, I like watching D&D streams. Hopefully I do a great job as DMing. I do some voices, sound effects, doing what I can.
Sorry if I cry, y'all. My character has like an
I made her
emotional
cry.
backstory, and I always said I was not gonna cry on camera. I've cried 2 times, and this motherfucker over here is like, you might cry at the end of this one too, and I'm just like,
I have a really good, I guess I do really good at storytelling. What version of D&D are you playing? We're playing 5th edition. I have never been able to play the others, so I'm sorry about that. At least I do kind of a good job at DMing. I made her cry. I've definitely made other people pissed off at NPCs that they should be. To a point where they've called me afterwards, especially my friends who are currently, who are doing virtual.
Obviously-
And they're like, your character is a fucking asshole.
yeah, we're all mad at you. One of the other characters that plays Savannah, a Tabaxi rogue, is always like, dude, because we're married, but she's like, are you like a sadist or like you just really mean to
No,
your
I'm
wife?"
not. I'm sorry. By the way, everyone, we call this entire series, for those who are just jumping in who are new, we call it Books and Brew. We talk about D&D stuff, and we also drink something. Usually it's alcoholic, but sometimes it's not.
It's
So
actual
for those who
brew.
are joining us right now, go ahead and get your drinks. Get them ready right now, since we're going to go ahead and talk about
it's
stuff.
caffeine or tea. There was somebody, and I forgot where you are now, but asked how long a campaign usually lasts. Honestly, it's up to your DM and the players how much dedication you have. Some can be like, yeah, 2 sessions, I'm out, and some can be like years.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it just depends. It really just depends.
My group has been to hiatus due to the pandemic. I have resisted playing virtually, so I'm looking forward to see how it's done. Well, we play on a platform called Astral Tabletop. It's a very interesting platform, much like Roll20, but I honestly love it a lot better. So yeah, join us tomorrow and we'll go ahead and show you how it's done, how we do things, and it's very entertaining to look at.
I like it.
Will there be ale? We're drinking, what is it called? Hibiscus?
Alcoholic kombucha, people. Alcoholic kombucha.
Right now we are, but for the following campaign, you're going to run into a character who is all about drinks. Not even kidding. That's the newest, I mean, you ran into the character, so he's
an
all about... Yeah. So we were talking about...
Oh, we also have shirts, guys. I know Mike's not wearing one. I'm not wearing one right now.
Oh, you want to show that?
But we do have Books and Brew shirts.
Oh.
We do have the Arcane Focus, which is our channel shirts, and we have a new shirt that we had designed specially for us for one of our NPCs, and she's adorable.
Well, here comes the salesman part of this, and I'm sorry, folks.
But she's so cute.
We'll end it soon. Don't worry, we'll get right past it. Here is what I'd like to call Gina Lee. Look at Gina Lee.
She's a little air genasi with chubby cheeks.
She's a little chibi air genasi. She is holding what I call a magic item that I made up called the Chatterbox.
The DM doomed himself because...
That whenever the players open the Chatterbox, I get to read from the chat, and it becomes canon.
And when somebody in the chat said something about Taco Bell, so now our whole campaign we're going around asking people what is a Taco Bell.
She is a very light baby blue air genasi who is very airy, so she has a very Valley Girls type of slang.
Yeah.
But I love her to death.
No, genasis normally have some kind of color. That's not the norm.
Exactly. My Furball Artificer just reached level 2, and I'm loving the Artificer Infusions. Excuse me. Yes, Artificer Infusions. My goodness, that's hard to say. It's so much fun.
We actually went over the whole, like, if you want to see our VODs before, we actually went over almost all the subclasses.
Oh, we went through all the subclasses and Tashas, and
how broken they are.
Some of them are good. The Psionics Sorcerer, not so much.
I mean, I was a Fathomless Warlock for our one shot.
That was fun. I like the Genie Warlock. That's really cool.
I actually really like
I think the Soul Knife
Rogue
is very... A lot of the new subclasses when it comes to Tasha's is very OP.
It's time for ice cream.
Go get your ice cream. Go get your ice cream. Bring us some. What kind of ice cream are you having? Let me go ahead and bring up my little notes here when it comes to
Thank you for the cheer.
Oh my god, are they cheering right now? Thank you so much, guys.
Gaming. If I butcher somebody's name, I'm not good.
Oh, you're reading from the announcement, the pop-ups? Those are behind.
Okay.
Yeah. We did our best to call out so many names right now.
Yeah, so any cheers, bits, follows, likes, anything in the love department, we totally love you guys. Thank you.
There's a really cool thing that I love to do. It is the returning weapon infusion when it comes to artificers. Essentially, you get yourself a dagger or a hammer, and yeah, much like Thor's hammer, you toss that mother, and within I think it's like it just happens after it hits, it's back, and so good, so good, and it's so much fun. You can grab a bag, put a little bit of thing on it. All of a sudden you got yourself a bag of holding at level 2.
What flavor?
Okay.
Oh no.
But yeah, we're off the rails now. Thank you so much, guys. You've basically broken us, which I love. Thank you so much. My goodness. Repeating weapon is broken, by the way.
A lot of things.
That is broken.
I don't know if that's Natasha's because I don't remember the whole book. We went over the whole book, don't recall all of it. But there's a lot of shit that's in the new book that's broken as hell.
I want to talk about something. We touched upon it very little, very slightly before we've got our wave right now. And that is the Moon Druid.
Oh yeah.
And that is what your past character was.
Iris.
Iris, who was a Moon Druid. Mm-hmm. And Moon Druids, for those who don't know,
Mike's like, they're OP.
Are kind of OP. Well, they definitely are OP, and they're immortal. They're not going to die, and there's a reason for that.
Well, once they reach a certain level.
What's a demon's favorite ice cream?
I don't know. Devil split. I was not going to go with something like that, but that's clever.
I'm going to go ahead and award that 20 points. Please.
Yeah, this is like the pun man.
Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and give that a 10. I'm going to mark that down, please. Moon Druids are super OP.
Oh, not you. I'm pointing to this man because he likes to do these types of jokes 24/7.
At second level, after you choose this subclass, you get combat wild shapes, essentially meaning that as you start to level up, excuse me, you can then you can use your wild shape as a bonus action instead of an action. So essentially you can transform into an animal and immediately attack that same round, which is actually pretty awesome.
We are squishy though.
You are, no.
For a little bit.
Let's be honest, you could transform into like a crocodile, get some hit points, be knocked out, transform back into a crocodile, and attack again.
I don't know, that druid we fought in that ring.
She was in the Moon Druid.
She sucked.
In addition to that, you get circle forms. Essentially what this means is that as you start to level up as a druid, so does your forms. And this is where it actually gets really awesome, because then you could turn into like...
challenge rating
your challenge rating goes up. Basically, whatever level you are as a druid, you divide that by 3, and that's the challenge rating of a beast you can transform into. Hate to raid and run. No worries, Blondie. Thank you so much.
Bye, Blondie. Thank you.
You had a long stream along with Ropey. Thank you so much. Yeah, enjoy your night. She's so cool. So awesome. Hey everyone, Gangsta till the artificer gets a crossbow with infinite ammo. Yeah, and then it's magical. You're level 2 and you got a magical crossbow already. Oh my god, I played a Moon Druid. So much fun. I had a Frost Wolf as one of my special shapes. Such an amazing RP class. Yeah.
The first one that he doesn't show there is like a campaign that we've been in for... He's been in for 5 years. I think I've been in for 3. No, I don't turn into one, but normally when I do conjure animals, because of the tundra she's from, she normally makes dire wolves that look kind of like frosty white wolves.
Yeah.
So our DM has never played with a Moon Druid, so I mean there was a pivotal point where, not him, it was a different DM that also guest starred, and he just like turned and was like, so what are you doing now over there? And I'm just like,
I conjured 8 dire wolves at a 5th level. That's what I'm doing.
I was like, oh
Fuck you,
no.
DM. Have a great night. I'll stop by tomorrow's stream. Yes, please. Thank you so much. I'm excited for you guys to watch.
Sorry if I cry on camera because this guy's an ass.
I'm gonna make some try tomorrow. You better stop by. So another great thing as a Moon Druid is that you essentially can stay in this animal form for much longer. Essentially, I think what it is that whatever level you are as a druid, that's how many hours you can spend.
It's half.
Oh, it's half
your druid level.
Thank you. She's a Moon Druid. She knows how to do this.
Yeah.
At 6th level...
It's still a peak because we're like level 13. So even if we round down, it's like 6 hours.
Yeah. Essentially, once you become, what, like level 19, you can essentially become you can be whatever you want all the time.
I thought it was 17. 17 or 19?
Oh, I forgot. Better Blast. Yes, please. Thank you so much for hanging out, for stopping by. Really, guys, hang out tomorrow. We're going to have our main campaign.
2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
Or you can watch VOD.
So, at 6th level as a Moon Druid, you get Primal Strike, meaning that every attack you do within your wild shape form, essentially whenever you're a animal, is magical. As to, push back any creature that may have magical, non-magical resistance. At 10th level, and I think this is where a Moon Druid becomes really OP.
You can be an elemental.
You can be an elemental. At 10th level, you can spend 2 wild shapes. You only get 2 throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, if you have to expend 2 to become the elemental.
You can become a wild and elemental, either earth, fire, water, or air. And these elementals have like 100 HP, or close to it at least.
I think the only one that's got 100 is fire and earth, because I think water and air are like in the 90s.
Oh, sorry. You're in the 90s.
They're easier to hit though.
Oh, like, poor thing.
Earth has a higher AC of like 17.
And then you get dual attacks, and then you can get you could dig through the earth if you're an earth elemental, or you can fly if you're a fire or an air.
I just like the fire because you can literally set anything on fire.
Or you can pass through creatures through their space and just catch them on fire just because you're there. This is where just druids
I remember
become
the
broken.
first time I did that, I was like, Nick, our DM, who's that campaign that we're still going through, he was just like, you're gonna be a what? And I was like,
the first time we did it, I'm like, I'm gonna turn into an earth elemental. Screw you, DM.
And I remember asking him, I was just like, so have you not played with a lot of druids? And he's like, not this far up. And he's like, and definitely not a moon druid.
So there's a reason why moon druids are pretty OP. It's because that elemental shape. I mean, yes, you can bring down that elemental form, and then of course the druid can't transform again, and then you can take her out, or him. But once druids become level 20, that's when...
Oh, I wasn't destroying nature, honey. I was destroying people.
So actually, this is a good discussion. Is that, should druids not destroy nature?
I don't think Kara really ever has.
Druids are not protectors of nature. They are nature. This is what I love about druids, is because you can be a druid who pulls from fire. You know, and yes, fire's dangerous. Fire can damage nature, but it's also essential sometimes to maybe bring down some things and have it regrow. Druids are nature. Nature can be an asshole. It could be a thunderstorm. It can be a tsunami.
A monsoon.
It can be a monsoon. It could be a
flood.
It could be a flood. Nature could kick your ass. And that's essentially what a druid is, that they're not always there to protect nature, but they are nature. That's what I love about druids.
Yeah, I mean, but like, she doesn't go out of her way. She tries to, like, even when an example was we had to go do a demolition job in this greenhouse. There was things in the greenhouse that obviously were meant to kill you. Like, she didn't really want to destroy it, but like everything in there was so toxic, and even like the greenery was toxic, and it had been poisoned to hurt people and the things around it. So she was very much like, yeah, we got to take this shit out.
Yeah. We're going to pull the weeds so that better things can grow.
This is not natural, and it's like, you know, a front against nature in itself, and that it's been so twisted that we got to take this out. And I did try to reason with the giant ass bee, did not go well. Anyway.
You did what now?
Remember that bee?
Oh, that's right. You talked to an animal. That was weird.
We were good, but it didn't like my friends.
So as you start to level up as a moon druid, at 14th level you get a thing called 1,000 forms. What does that do? Essentially, what that means is that you can not only just change yourself into an animal or an elemental, but you can also change yourself by using the Alter Self spell at will. Essentially, you can give yourself permanent claws, gills, talons, I think there's some more. You can give yourself horns. You can, and I think you can also maybe change yourself, like disguise self, and I will double check right here. Aquatic adaptation, change appearance. You can decide what you look like, including height, weight, facial features, the sound of your voice, hair color, coloration, distinguishing characters. You're basically a changeling at this point. You are the embodiment of time and change.
Yeah, it's a little nuts.
So you're at level 13.
Yeah, I'm level 13.
In our non-streamed game. We actually have a home game that we don't stream, which we've been playing for a very long time, and she's been a moon druid. You're one level away from getting this ability. That's pretty exciting.
Don't tell Nick.
But the reason why moon druids are very OP is because I believe at level 20 they can do as many times as they wish their change.
Your wild shape.
Their wild shape. So they can become a fire elemental in the beginning of a fight.
And then change it to a different
get knocked a few times, and they get half health for their fire elemental, and then immediately change again, and then they get full health again, and they can do that as many times as they wish. They'll never go down. The only way to take down a moon druid, and I've been thinking about this because I have. As a DM, you have to think about these things.
Uh-huh.
And the only way you get rid of a moon druid is that you feeble mind their ass. You feeble mind them. Make sure that they can't make any actions.
Don't you have to make a wisdom save?
You do.
She has like super high fucking wisdom.
You better be lucky with that.
Like roll. You have to have high wisdom for your spells. Like most of them are all wisdom based. So unless
now you need to think of another way to kill.
So unless you're stupidly stacking your stats, like, yeah, no, you have to be a wise motherfucker.
The way. How do you take down a moon druid?
Glad you're not the DM in the
Everyone, if you know anything about D&D, Go to the Discord, type exclamation point
There's
Discord.
ways, but I mean, like,
How do you take down a level 20 Moon Druid?
there's ways. We've seen campaigns that take them out, but like, it's generally like a group effort. It's not.
I want to say the Finger of Death, like the word power kill, but they have to have less than 100 hit points.
Yeah, and if they're switching shapes.
They're never going to run out of hit points, so that's not going to work. You can probably plane shift them. I believe that takes some other type of
Yeah, but they can plane shift back, and that's also wisdom.
Something that crit hard enough with one shot. Yeah, you'd have to do something like a paladin, maybe.
I mean, honestly, that death tyrant. No, it wasn't a death tyrant. What is it? The Death Walker? What is it?
Oh, Death Walker.
That fucking thing. I mean, you can keep switching shapes, but I mean, like, the thing was that the way our other DM played it was like, if you die in that shape, you stay in that shape.
I think essentially what you need to do. Oh, that's what you could do. You cast autos. Something I think it's like a Mobius dance, which requires a charisma save, meaning that the character can't do anything except for dance as their action.
They did this on Critical Role, and then she got rid of it finally.
Yeah, because you had to drop it. A rogue could, maybe.
I don't know, man. I've held person a couple of rogues.
If you're doing a battle royale, a rogue obviously is going to go first before a druid. That's 100% up to it. They're going to run towards the rogue and try to attack. Unless they have some sort of ability that gives them advantage, they're not going to get sneak attack. So you're kind of mixing it here.
Dude, if you were a Moon Druid with the alert feat, you couldn't be surprised. So it'll be like, fuck all to the rogue.
That's a broken thing. That's very broken. Oh no. I will think of a way to bring down the Moon Druid level 20.
An Earth Elemental is, from what I remember, because I've done it enough, is 126 hit points. So if you did 120 points of damage, you left her with 6 points, and she could shape again at that level.
I wonder if your DM would allow, if someone used a wish spell, if they could wish you to stop using, if they took away all of your...
I don't think you can, like, you can't wish somebody to death. I know
No. If you do wish someone harm, I think it does like 2,000 points of damage.
To you?
No, to the creature. I'll double check. I will double check.
I thought you're like not allowed to.
You can wish someone dead.
Oh.
But it doesn't do it like you think. Wish is a very useful spell, but it's yeah, here, hold on. My goodness. Yeah, if you try to do... Oh no, you take damage. Hold on.
Yeah, that sounds like I don't think you're allowed to wish somebody dead. I think you can bring somebody back temporarily, but like not put them in the ground, so to speak.
Yeah, when it comes to wish, it's very
finicky,
flexible. Yeah, finicky, because the DM could decide whether or not, you. I can't think of it. Like if you want to take away the things. 155 million of the PS2 was sold. Do you think that's impressive? Absolutely. PS2 is one of the most widely sold and widely successful consoles ever. That's off topic, but I am a big gaming nerd. And yes, PS2, without a doubt, is the most sold console ever.
Oh, thank you for the follow.
Thank you so much for the follow.
It's Gage.
Yes. I can't remember the amount of consoles sold for the Switch. Is the Switch getting close to it? I thought it did. I thought it was. It was either the Switch or like that. I kind of feel like the DS or 3DS, since it had so many iterations.
I wasted a week of my life on level 100 RPG on Black Ops 3.
Well, I'm trying to think now. My mind's going back to the original question. How do you take down a level 20 druid? A Moon Druid?
Just leave me out of it.
Oh! You can use Wish to undo recent events, like undoing a last turn. Or you can undo an opponent's successful save. Yeah, so essentially what you can do is that you can you can go to someone, go Feeble Mind, and you succeed, and you go next turn, I wish that you never succeeded from that Feeble Mind save, and you fail. But damn, you have to use a level 8 and a level 9 spell to get that done. That's insane. Level 20 Druid, Moon Druids are insane. They absolutely are.
I'm like, what if you have a scroll? Like, what if you don't have access to the spell? But like, what if you just have a scroll and use it up and it's just like, fuck you.
Maybe.
Mind Palace that shit.
So guys, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much for those who've been who've raided us and who've been hanging out. Let's go ahead and share this raid. Let's keep the train going.
Thank you, Sai, again. Thank you, Blondie Bakiki, and all our little raiders and our original gems in chat. Much appreciated.
All right, let's see. Let's think. Who we gonna raid right now? You gonna do game attack?
I don't know what that button does.
I don't know what that button did.
To want to go back and watch.
Oh, let's see. Let me go up here.
The funny thing is Saw 1, like the premise and what, not the premise.
Let me pause them real quick so that way you don't hear any double echo here. But we're gonna go ahead and raid game attack. One of my buddies at game attack. Let's see. Where's that raid button?
You hear the...
There you are.
The Kit Kat.
There you are. There's game attack. All right, let's start the raid, guys. Remember,
Stream tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The main campaign. Try not to cry.
All right, guys. Check you tomorrow.
Love you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy all the holidays. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Letters.
Bye.